ground-based nav aid. Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream coming at you in the TBM 850. Fastly becoming one of my favorite prop-driven airplanes on the sim. And it's not even officially out yet, so it's going to be a fun one. I'm excited for this one. We continue to test little different capabilities of this aircraft, if you will, over the last couple of streams. Today we're trying to find some bad weather here. When I originally loaded in, it was raining pretty good. Now it looks like that rain is moving off of the field a little bit, but it's still gusting about 20 knots, crosswind coming across the runways. It's going to be a bumpy flight. It's going to be windy. It might have some rain, might have some thunder activity. We shall see. We're sitting here at the Shelter in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's going to be an absolute awesome one. I've been on this very ramp many times. I've actually been in the Shelter building, so it's a good spot to be. Kind of lacking on the 3D modeling there, but it's right. Hey, at least they got some of it right. Anyway, it should be fun. Glad to see everybody here. Tyson, good to see you. Kyle Lewis, Marco Garotti, Thrust Set, Ailerons into the winds here. AJ Funari, good to see you, man. We'll never get another Transall flight. Not yet. Ralph R. Mr. Caps is here. Tim K. Tyson Fragtality. Stephen Hayner, Jeremy Harvey, good to see you. Brian Starks, Fireflyer, Digital Merc, Team Vodka, waiting for AIG to update. Are you going to depart with us, Team Vodka? You got to load it up, man. JP, Delta Tango, Tukatari, Flight to Lives, and many more. Scott, good to see you as well. See you tune in as well. It's going to be interesting. ATC is online, which is exciting. We got Jack Center on. We got Miami Approach, which we won't be talking to them. I don't see any Lauderdale ground tower or anything like that, but we're going to have to call one of these centers. Either Jacksonville or Miami. I'm not sure which one we're going to call, but we're going to figure it out here. We're rocking the 530 GPS today. One thing to note is I did retest the 750 flight, and with the GPS 750, I got it to work just fine. So I had to do some more toggling. I don't know if it kind of glitches out or not, but I did get it to work with the proper needles. However, I still don't like the look of the 750. I think it's too much glass. So we're going to attempt today's flight without the 750. We're going to try to use the 530 going up to Jacksonville. I've custom coded our flight plan, which I don't have anymore, but it's in the route when Nightbot decides to join. Basically, we got to customize your departure so it's non-turbojet aircraft only. I think that's what SimBrief had me file. So I've picked one that was non-turbojet. I kind of made my own route. Hopefully ATC will let us take it. I didn't want to go inland over Orlando because that's not the eye candy. I want to go out over the water up the coastal down or up to Jacksonville. So it should be interesting. Hi from the deepest, darkest Wiltshire. John, how good to see you, man. This airplane would look so good with a V1 livery. Jeremy Harvey, yes, it would. I mean, I don't know. I really am digging this red, gray, and black livery they had here by default. They just put some flags on it, put the logo of the Texas flag up there. It's looking pretty good. I might do some additions to it here in a little bit. But either way, Dougal McTavish, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board. We do have the latest internal release version that they've sent out to their internal testing folks. So I got sent this yesterday. We'll go over that in cruise, but just some highlighting fixes on the ITT simulation. A couple other things were tweaked as well. Make it a little bit more realistic instead of the systematic, mathematically calculated, engine start temp and all that. One thing I will say, I did a couple test flights already today because I love this airplane so much. I tested it at some super hot temperatures, ambient temperatures, pretty gnarly. Had to do some motoring to cool the engine down, which is pretty cool. Also, the ITT residual ITT. So if you shut down and do a turn, you might have residual ITT affected by your oil and all that good stuff. So it's pretty cool. We'll talk about the latest changes once we get up to cruise. However, for the time being, I think we need to fire it up, see if we can get an IFR clearance. Hopefully they don't change it on us, and we're going to give it a shot. So let's go ahead and come to our airplane right here, and what we can do is we'll actually just use the ground clearance mode. So I'll get the crash bar up, and we'll put the generator into the main position. With that in the main position, all we got to do is come down here. We'll flick the radio master on. It's going to fire up the 530.
7, Roger, and just verify you are a prop.
A bonanza.
Lifer 1 departure is a chat-only departure. Stand by for a reroute.
Somebody filed the lifer. All right, we need to talk to center, which it sounds like this is the right one. 2485? No, it's not correct. Why am I getting, let's see, Miami Center 3517. Is that who we need to talk to?
Bonanza 667. Do you have the Miami 9 departure on board?
Oh, he's leaving out of Miami. We need to call Miami Center 3517. So let's dial this in over here, 13517. You can hear the winds are ripping right now. 3517. Nope, 2485. Nope, 2485. Who's 2485? Oh my gosh. So now we call approach for clearance. I will never understand. Lauren, V2500, where are you? Where is Lauren when you need her? No idea how they calculate this. It's okay. We won't rage. Let's plenty of that.
November 667.
Let's see. We can't pick up the ATIS, though. Fort Lauderdale ATIS. I'll pick that up over here on the digital ATIS. Looks like hotel is current. 060 at 16, gusting 20. That ought to be spicy. Probably depart 10 right here. Top down makes no sense, Micah Messer. Top down would be center because they're above everybody. So I have no idea why approach is above center on top down. Makes no sense. Zero logical sense. It's whoever is the overlying facility. Just make your calls on 2028. Let the appropriate controller figure it out. All right. Well, he's giving out a full route clearance to Bonanza. Is there anything else we can do while we sit here? Not much. We'll hide this for now. We'll do our after start flow right now. You can see the cabin temp is 86. We'll just kind of pretend we're waiting on passengers as we sit here. Like a beer bottle, bottoms up. Makes no sense, AJ. Calling center for taxi always feels normal. Totally, Kip. Well, top down as in you. Oh, here, chaos. Here we go. As you go from top to bottom, and the last one you find is the one you call. Well, that makes no sense. It should be bottom up. It should be the closest one to you going from the ground because I am on the ground. So if ground's not on, I should call tower. If tower's not on, I should call approach. If approach is not on, then I would call center. That would be a bottoms up approach. This top down nonsense is for the Euros, man. Man, I'm starting to sound like a particular content creator. I got to calm down. We're too early to rage. It's a beautiful day. How's everybody doing? I'm a little salty after last night's Sunday night football game. Have I tried Pilot Edge? I have Fireflyer. It's a good deal. It's good, man. I like Pilot Edge. I just don't want to pay for it anymore. Miami approach. Good afternoon. TBM 357 Bravo Mike on the ground at Lauderdale with hotel. Like to pick up our clearance to Jacksonville.
Bravo Mike, Miami departure, clearance on request standby.
Get off my lawn. I'm amazing, not salty at all. McAllen, welcome to the stream.
November 295, Tango Delta.
My name is Emmanuel. Stop it, please. Please. Laughs and 49ers.
295, Tango Delta,
Yes,
Miami
49ers are for real, Steven. They've been for real for a while. I've been telling you all this for a while. 49ers are a legit football team. Ooh, a King Air. Ooh, it looks like we got a little prop situation. Guys, can we take a moment to appreciate this? Look at this beautiful jet blues out here on the hard stand. We got the clouds of South Florida, late summer, billowing clouds. Nothing super high. Like, we don't have super high convective activity, but we got that low-level convective cumulonimbus clouds rolling through. Absolutely love it. Very realistic. Very, very realistic. Is release date still a secret? Mr. Caps, I have not. Here's the thing. I didn't ask. I forgot to ask, and if I were to ask right now, then we won't be able to find out anyway. So I'll ask after this stream. I'll send an email to Black Square.
November 7, Bravo Mike, I have your clearance. Unfortunately, it is going to be a full route clearance up to Jacksonville. Advise I do copy.
Who was that for? Who was that for the full route clearance?
November 7, Bravo Mike.
Ouch. Okay, we're ready. TBM 7, Bravo Mike.
TBM 7, Bravo Mike, clear to Jacksonville Airport. Radar vectors Frisbee, Foxtrot Romeo, Sierra Bravo Echo, direct Stymie, Sierra Tango Yankee Mike Yankee, direct Orlando VOR, Oscar Romeo Lima, join the Koji 2 arrival in the Jacksonville. Papa Oscar Golf India Echo 2, maintain 2000, expect flight level 250, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is this frequency and squawk 3511.
Clear to Jacksonville, radar vectors, Frisbee, Stymie, Orlando, Posse 2, arrival in the Jax 2000, 250 and 10, departures 2045, squawk 3511 for TBM 7, Bravo Mike.
TBM 7, Bravo Mike, read back correct, thanks for your help. It's a routing requirement for props, and expect runway 10 right for departure, advise ready for taxi.
We'll expect 10 right, we'll give you a call, not a problem, TBM 7, Bravo Mike, thanks.
Okay,
all right.
7588, radar contact.
How about them apples, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's go in here. Since we got about 472 things to program, I'm going to turn off the radio volume for a second. Let's program this It says, I don't know, but Ubi's got the GPU running. We're going to stay in ground clearance mode because it will save. And here's the thing, what I love about the, whoever told me this, you're like my hero of the month club. So K Fort Lauderdale, to be able to just type into this thing is so awesome. FLL, okay, we'll enter that. After Fort Lauderdale, there is no departure procedure. We're going to Frisbee F. Oh no, this happened to me before. If I hit F, R, S, it resets my view. FRSBE, enter. Okay, now I got to get my view back. There we go. If I don't know, for some reason, if I hit that F key, something screws up my my views. Frisbee Stymie, that's Sierra. Oh, rip. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chat, we have a problem. It's conflicting with our views. Reset cockpit position. Okay, we need to go back. ST. Sierra Tango Yankee Mike Yankee. Stymie, we'll enter that. Now I've got my view back to this version here. Typing is not cheating. Hey, it's much easier to do in real life with the things here. Stymie Orlando. Let's do ORL. Don't reset views. ORL. Enter you. Yes, I want Southeast USA, not Norway, the one that's in my flight plan. Thank you very much. And then the posi into JAX. So here we're going to type in KJAX. I'll just do it the old school way so we feel like we did something correct. For all the hardcore simmers out there, we'll spin in one proper waypoint. Kilo Juliet Alpha X-ray. Boom, KJAX. And then we'll go flight plan, procedure, select approach, and oh gosh, I think, I'm not sure what they're loading in. Oh, do they not have arrivals? Oh yeah, here we go. That's wrong one. Arrival into JAX is the Pogi. Okay, so the Pogi 2, that's what he wanted. We're gonna load that, yep, off of Orlando. So Frisbee, Stymie, Orlando, and then that's the Pogi 2. So that looks beautiful. We can put this back onto the nav page. We are looking good. We are cooking with gas now. Let's go ahead and set our weight and balance real quick here. And what is this? Why is that on? The caps lock needs to come off. Okay, we'll take 50% fuel, but let's load it up. Front left passenger, we'll take 110 pound. We'll take another 145 pound. How about rear passenger left? We'll take 200. And then we'll take rear passenger, rear right. Let's do 170. Actually, let's do like, how much does Taylor Swift weigh? Probably like 105 pounds. Cool. Rear baggage compartment, we'll load it up. Let's say we got 50 pounds of golf clubs back there. Forward baggage, we probably have a couple flight kits, maybe an extra set of golf clubs. Let's load this sucker up. Let's go another 100 pounds up in the front. So with that, we got a little red line here. I don't like that. Let's say the co-pilot weighs 225. Let's see if we can shift that over a little bit. There we go. 225, 175 before the donuts. All right, so I like this. We're getting up there. 68 to 74, not quite max weight. We're about 600 pounds under, a little under that, so that looks fine. 50% fuel, 67. What is that in pounds? That's, yeah, that should be enough right there. I like that. Consider our weight and balance is done. Don't forget Travis Kelce. No, we're leaving Mr. Kelce behind. All right. She's riding with Zach Wilson here pretty soon anyway. Zach's probably 175 pounds. So, all right, before I get in trouble, actually, before we close that up, let's go ahead and turn off the ground clearance mode. With that done, we got to close up our TBM. So let's come over here. All our passengers are on board. Push to close. How you doing? Why is it not closing? That could be a problem. Do we need power to close it? We might. Oh, the stairs! Duh. Hey, we're closing now. All right, green, we're sealed up. That looks good. Battery's on. We're going to start anyway. I don't need stairs. I just jumped in. I just saw the last Stevo Canivo on TBM 960. Glass is insane. Yeah, I think that's a super lame looking cockpit, if I'm being honest with you. Super lame. Nothing to do. All right, let's go ahead and do our little flow here. So that's off, off, bleeds are off. We're going to go boost pump into the on position. We're manual select on there. We're battery main, auto ignition is set, juice up the sounds, and clear prop. Starter's illuminate, or ignition's illuminated. Starter is flashing. I just moved the prop level full forward. Watch my NG down there percent. There's about 14%. Let's go low idle. There's our light off. Watch our ITT. This is part of the newest update. We're going to get all the way up to about 826 on the ITT right now. Outside air temp is pretty warm, like 90 degrees. ITT rollback there is waiting for 50%. 50%. Starter out. We're going high idle. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come down here. Auto. Auto. Bleed is on auto. Let's go on and air conditioning because it's hot. Ground clearance, radio master, autopilot's trims are coming on, and bzzz. Basically Steve-O Knievo. Oh, I forgot Steve-O's introduce fuel. Watching the ITT for a hot start, NG for a hung start. There we go. Everything looks good. We're booting on up here. Everything is set. What I will also do is I'm going to turn this back on. While that's booting up, let's go ahead and get the pitot stall heater. We don't need the inert SEP yet. It's not raining anymore, so I'm going to leave it off for right now. Let's set our top altitude is 2K initially, so 2,000 is set. We'll go ahead and hit enter, enter, and we'll go ahead and put this sucker on. Self-test in progress. We're going to reacquire. Hopefully it'll reload our flight plan. There it is, Lauderdale to Frisbee. Engine condition, everything looks good. We'll keep our radar on. Squawk code was 3511 3511. We'll put that on standby on the ground. Nope, props full forward. I got it during the startup, Gustavo. Is there a failure for the indicator staying red when you go to seal the doors? Matt, I would imagine so. There is definitely pressurization failures simulated. I'm going to turn the sim down a little bit. It's a little bit too loud. All right, 2,000 is set. Everything else looks good. We'll go flaps takeoff. I'm going to leave my trim where it is. I like neutral trims for takeoff. It just feels better. The rudder trim, I like using my own rudder. It's not, I don't think it's as dramatic as it would be in the real airplane. So using rudder trim, it just gets a little funky when you untrim. So I'm just going neutral trims. All right, he's still giving out clearances. Let's do our final check. 00, magic barrel ref. 0 and indicating. We're going to put this sucker into GPS CDI. 58.5 nautical miles to our first waypoint off 10 right. It's going to be about a 100 on the heading initially, so let's put that in here. Nothing to put in VOR2. Standby ADI looks good, and gyro suction is good to go. Last thing before we get blasting off, we're going up to 2, what was our final? 2.5, so I'm going to set this at 2.6. Should be about 7,000 feet. And we're going to increase the rate. All right, brakes off, taxi light on. Let's go pull out here to the ramp. We'll go out here to Lima, and then we'll give them a call. All right, now we can finally catch back up to the chat here. Why are my brakes not working? Why are my brakes not working? Brakes are not working. Parking brake is on. Oh boy. Okay, so I adjusted my brake pedals. I adjusted my brake pedals just before the stream started. I was trying to move them. I'm not getting any breakage.
Tango Alpha Papa 199er.
That's not good.
An IFR flight plan.
Do I need to recalibrate these? Because that's going to be a problem. Can I recalibrate them somehow?
I see
Uh-oh.
you file to Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel with an IFR flight plan. I got waypoints in there and everything.
Great.
Tango Alpha Papa 199. I know why. Yeah, that was because my flight plan was made by an ATC guy back in the
No, those are rudders. It's just not picking up any brake axes. They're the MFG crosswinds, and I was... Oh, gosh dang it. I know probably what it is. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Hold on, I'm going to mute my mic here. Stand by. I'm going to readjust the hardware on. I think it's... I tried to move my pedals up because I couldn't get them... I couldn't get full brake deflection. Give me a second.
Tango Alpha Papa 199er, I'm unable to change that. You have to refile flight plan unless... Yeah, just can you just try refiling a VFR flight plan for me?
Tango Alpha Papa 199er, I already refiled. I'm gonna try disconnecting and reconnecting again to see if that works.
Yeah, see if that works, thanks. Break uniform Papa 207, third direct spike up, cross spike of 3000, cleared RNAV, runway 8 left approach.
Cleared direct Micah, cross Micah at 3000, cleared runway 8 left approach, RNAV, 8 left approach.
Delta 1537, I have your IFR advice ready to copy.
Delta 1535, ready to copy.
Delta 1535, clear to Detroit Metro Airport, Agers 1 departure, deuce in transition as filed, maintain 4000, set flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure this frequency, spot 3375.
This is Detroit International.
Alright, let's see here. Because I can't, so basically my problem was my pedals are too flat to start. So going full brake.
Delta 1535, read back correct, expect runway 10
Okay,
left for departure.
so I guess that's going to have to be it for right now.
Expect runway 10.
I can't, like, to go full brake, I have to go more than on my toes. Like, it's really uncomfortable.
American 2178.
Anyway, alright, crisis averted for now. I guess I'll just have to reset them and then recalibrate them somehow. I don't know what's going on with that. So we do brake text. Exactly. Alright, here's a shorthand if you want to take a look at it. Let me call this guy, where are we at? Short of Lima.
November 2 November, clear to
Lima 1, short Lima.
maintain 3000, expect flight level 410.
What is the binding for the barrel key? It's B, Bravo.
Frequency, block 3617.
Alright, we're cleared to Savannah, also with departure date transition filed, initially 3000, expect 410 faster, departures with you at 3617.
Use a trigger on your HOTAS for brakes due to being amputee. That's a good workaround, Crimson Ghost. You know, some Russian aircraft actually use that brake pedal on the stick. It's like a pneumatic brake on the stick on the fighters.
Again, can you see if my plane is VFR now?
29er is now the new meter. We're already painting some, still painting some scattered situations out there. Definitely going to be bumpy out of here. Definitely going to be bumpy. We got a TBM behind us too. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Our flaps out?
Okay,
Yep.
If you don't mind, I got a couple things to work out here, and then I'll call you back and try to help you out, if that's okay.
Copy.
At approach TBM 7 Bravo Mike on the ground in Lauderdale here. We're Lima 1 short of Lima, ready taxi with hotel.
TBM 7 Bravo Mike, squawk mode Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. There we go.
Approach November 95 Tango Delta, Lima 1 behind the train.
November 7 Bravo Mike, runway 10 right, taxi via Lima, hotel.
VR flight sim guide.
Hotel 3 Juliet, Lauderdale altimeter 2988.
Oh no, was that for us? And that was Brock.
November 7 Bravo Mike, runway 10 right, taxi via Lima, hotel 3 Juliet.
Lima Hotel 3 Juliet 10 right, TBM 7 Bravo Mike.
November 5 Tango.
It wasn't blocked, but I started talking because I was reading chat. Thank you, VR flight sim guide. Appreciate you, man.
Lima, hotel 3 Juliet. I'm gonna have a reroute.
Hey, that's a
to,
pro.
uh,
That's a pro simmer move right there.
Orlando. Advise ready to copy.
That is a pro simmer move. It's so weird taxiing this little GA plane again around on these taxiways because it's just, you feel so tiny. These taxiways feel so
Miami,
large.
9
It's great.
departure, radar vectors to Flamingo.
Yeah, my brakes are working now.
Mike, Golf
All right,
Oscar,
Lima 3,
direct to
Hotel,
Kilo, Papa Hotel Kilo.
and Juliet.
Join the Goofy 7 arrival into Orlando. That's
Hotel
Golf
3, so it's this
Oscar,
one down
Oscar,
here.
Foxtrot
So this was
18.
literally right back there,
Maintain
short of hotel. I sat there for,
departure.
what, almost 2.5 hours the other night in an Airbus? One thing you'll notice here with the latest update too is the prop, albeit we're on ground fine right now, is out of the caution zone. So it's right on top of the normal operation. It's not in the yellow anymore. So they brought that prop up here at idle power.
Zero Papa Golf almost. That is going to be Papa Hotel Kilo VOR in between Flamingo and Goofy there.
All right, Papa Hotel Kilo VOR. Got it. 120 Papa.
November 0 Papa Golf, read back correct. Expect runway 8 left.
See, this makes no sense. Why we have one departure guy on, but we have like 10 centers on? Why isn't center doing clearances?
Papa 207.
Like center should be doing the clearances instead of approach control.
8 left, clear to land.
Makes no sense. VATSIM just needs to hire me to straighten out their architecture. Makes no sense that you got one guy doing ground, taxi, tower, clearance.
Voice capable?
Meanwhile, there's 42 different centers online. John, good to see you, man. Welcome. Douglas Phillips, howdy, y'all. Glad to catch stream. COVID finally got me this weekend. Uh-oh, Douglas Phillips, I hope you feel better, man.
November 7 Bravo Mike, hold short 10 right. I'll get you in just a minute here.
Holding short 10 right, TBM 7 Bro Mike. All right, we're going to hold her short right here.
Can go up a Papa 199. I think that's fixed. No, I'm not sure. I think that's fixed.
Tango off Papa 199, Roger. I'll take a look.
All right, there's no rain, so we don't need the inert SEP. Everything else looks good. We're props full forward, high idle. Flaps are takeoff. Pressurization is set. We're squawking altitude. We're going to be direct to Orlando, or no, Frisbee. Radar vectors to Frisbee. That'll be up next. And we're ready to go.
Delta 177. Looks like you'll be in the ramp there. Push your discretion. Advise ready for taxi runway 8 right.
Someone's got their taxi light on or landing lights on back there. Zippy, that's you? Nice. It's top down, bottoms up. Hey, I will never understand. I will never understand. Sky is looking absolutely beautiful though right now. This plane makes me so excited to try it out in winter. Yes, Black Dog, it's going to be fun, and we should do some. As the winter months start to creep in, I think we're going to have a cold snap coming up here in the next couple days in the East Coast. Anyway, might have to try to go find some more icing conditions. Maybe try to go find the first American snowstorm of 2024. Jax is my hometown. I think a better option would have been CRG. Nice little 2-runway exec. Well, we're a private TBM. We might have to change our destination en route. Who knows? We'll see. I never got the reason for blinking landing lights, Chris. I think it's the theory behind it is it helps with birds. It helps get birds from flying into the light. Top down. Here we go. We're gonna keep going. Top down, as in the guy on top does the job of the guys at the bottom. Well, then center should be doing the job of the guys at the bottom, doing clearance, because clearance is as low as you can get. So if I want to call a clearance and there's no clearance on, if it was top down, then if what you're saying is correct, then the center, which is the highest, should be doing clearance, but it's not.
November 7 Bravo Mike, wind 060 at 14, gust 21, fly heading 360, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff.
Heading 360, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, we got a nice little crosswind. Going to be a little bit bumpy.
0 Papa Golf.
All right, we do have pulse mode on. You know, I kind of don't like pulse mode. Let's go regular light. Yeah, look at that. All right, so we are going to have a nice little crosswind, little left aileron, heading of 360 on departure. 360 is set. Whoa, look at me trying to do an Airbus line up here again. Let's come back to the center line. Remember, as before, get that prop up to the governor. Then we'll set the rest of our torque. Here we go. We are cleared for takeoff. Props are coming up. Set torque. Don't over torque it. Power set. Ooh, a little over torque there. Bring that torque back a little bit. Yeah, I like this. I got just a little bit of right rudder. Airspeed's alive. All right, here we go. Power rotate. Watch that wing drop. Positive rate. Gear up.
120 Papa Golf. Good catch. I see what you're talking about.
Tap the brakes.
That is what it says in the routing requirements. How about we just do radar vector direct to actually November 0 Papa Golf. Stand by. I'll call you back in just a second.
There's about 400 feet. Left turn to 360. Yaw damper's coming on. See, now I don't have to worry about that trim. Just that de-trimming is a little meh in Microsoft.
Uniform Papa 207, Roger, cross runway 8 right, taxi straight ahead to parking today.
See you later, Lauderdale. Love it. All right, 360 on the heading. Roll it out. Start to pitch up. I'm going to go flaps up. That's going to help lower that nose here. I'm using the aerodynamics to my advantage here. As soon as I rolled wing level, we wanted to get a little more pitch up, so I get the flaps up, so that lowers the nose. And we're pretty much hands off right now. 360 on the heading. All right, approaching 140 knots. Oop, there's 2,000. We got to level off.
Roger, but
Wee.
is there any way, can you give me like a north, south, east, west direction?
Let's bring that torque back.
Roger, so you want VFR eastbound, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, Tango Alpha Bravo 199er cleared into the Miami Class Bravo airspace.
Oh, this is going to help me out here. We're going to go altitude hold, heading, autopilot on.
This frequency.
A little bit. We overshot our altitude there by about 140 feet. That's all right. I'm going to bring that power way back. Let's get the prop off that red line just a hair. About 28 knot crosswind. Look at that.
I'm requesting taxi to runway 9.
Tango Alpha Papa 199er, I need you to read back at least a squawk.
40 knot
Runway
crosswind, quartering headwind here.
Squawk code 4531.
This guy is just oversaturated.
The runway, I would be grateful.
November, correction, tap 199, Roger.
I'm going to come back to right about 144 knots. There we go.
At, do you want an intersection departure from Yankee? Okay, November 7 Bravo, Mike radar contact 5 miles north of Fort Lauderdale, stay up.
Good afternoon, Miami approach, Liberty 720, requesting push fast.
The vertical speed us right down to 2,000 exactly. And departure TBM 7 Bravo Mike, level 2,000, heading 360, looking for higher. It's above you.
Approved advisory for taxi.
Push fast, approved advisory for taxi, Liberty 720.
November 7 Bravo Mike radar contact 6 miles north of the Lauderdale Airport, say altitude.
Level 2,000, TBM 7 Bravo Mike.
TBM 7 Bravo Mike, thanks, climb and maintain 16,000, clear direct Frisbee.
Climb and maintain 16,000 direct Frisbee, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. Vertical speed, we're going up about 500 feet a minute here just to get us going. We're going to go flight plan direct to Frisbee, direct to, enter, activate, done, nav mode, engage. We're in the turn. I want to go ahead and increase my vertical speed here until our speed comes back a little bit. And then we're going to go right into, actually, we could set right about 2,000. If I bring that torque up a little bit, should stable right around that 140 knot. Power's coming up 100% on the torque. Props are good. Temps are good. 762 ITT.
November 0 Papa Golf, thank you. I'll take a
Resync
look at
our
that
heading
later.
bug.
Your read back is correct. Expect runway 8 left for departure and advise ready for taxi.
Read left for departure, will advise ready.
I'm going to keep creeping it up. There's 150. Now let's go IAS hold. With IAS hold engaged up to, you said one, did you say 1.4 or 16,000? I thought he said 14, but then I saw 16 there. We got an IAS hold here, 100 on the torque. Temps are looking good. Resync. He did say 16? All right, cool. I thought he said 14. There's just way too much talk going on. Gen 1 overheat failure. Reset doesn't fix the temp, fixes the broken gen. But I'm not waiting for it to cool down. Pretty realistic. That's awesome, Team Vodka. It's probably because you damaged your airplane from the last time you were sitting around and feathered on the ground for an hour.
Alpha, Miami departure, Roger, and D1 IFR.
I wanted to range out my radar a little bit.
Lima Victor Foxtrot, Alpha, Oscar,
All right,
Roger,
things are looking good. Should we go rental car mode? Let's go rental car mode. 850 mode engaged. With 850 mode engaged, I'm going to set a rough torque now of about 110, and then I'm going to use a climb performance app here. And I'll show you guys this here in a little bit. But this controller is so busy, like I can barely hear myself. Turn it down a little bit. I want volume 3. There we go. Inertial separator, as we enter the clouds here, will come on now. I gotta watch that ITT. I like it. I like it. Havoc, thank you for the $5 bank angle check, man. I appreciate the support. PROPS, I like it. Very good. What a letdown last night, huh? It's hard to beat the refs. I hate using that excuse, but man, they threw that game. Like, they just wanted the Swifties to go home happy. All right, inert sep is on. We're looking good. Let me pull out my TBM torque app. So right now we're in climb mode, maximum. OAT is 54 Fahrenheit, but what's that in centigrade? That's going to be 12. And right now we're out, and we're going up to 2.5.
Runway 8 right, taxi
240. Max torque out of 10, we could still use 121 on the torque, but there's no necessary. No, we're not necessary to do that. We can go up a little bit more though. The weather radar works as a kind of like an overlay of next gen radar, which I kind of like because I say next gen, but like a like a NexRad. Maybe that's what I was trying to do. Like a NexRad radar. It's not looking for particulates. It's using the actual radar overlays that you would see if you looked at my radar or something like that, which I like better because we're not painting anything in here, and that's not what the real radar shows either, so it's just light clouds.
Delta 1535, runway 10 left, taxi via Tango.
Does the 850 automatically increase torque limit as it flaps? No, winglet, you have to go into 850 mode. So once you move the flap lever from up to 850, then that torque limit is reduced. Or I'm sorry, then that 850 horsepower is the governor is removed. Because with it, if you don't move that flap lever in 850 mode, it will limit you at like 105, I think, approximately. All right, there is 10,000 feet. Landing lights, taxi lights are off. I guess we can go pulse mode here since we're climbing.
Did I give you a clearance?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna speed up just a hair here. Let's go ahead and lower our vertical
6 Alpha
speed.
Zulu, Roger.
Cabin is
standby.
climbing.
All aircraft stands island.
Gosh, I just want to get a handoff from the Senna. V1, you gotta vertical speed it down tonight like Steve always does. ISing it down is just meh. Vertical speed it down? Alright, McCallum, we'll vertical speed her down. Out of cruise. Where were you when Taylor Swift killed professional football? Look at that breakout. Yeah, it's on the flap lever. Separate setting for sure. Yeah, it is wingnut. All right, yeah.
TBM 7 Bravo, Mike. I'm at the altitude, maintain 14,000.
Stop the climb. 14,000. TBM 7 Bravo, Mike. Wow, 14 is set. Look at that breakout.
Contact Miami Center 135.17.
That is awesome.
Connect in the air, 'cause that
Any
kind of
digital
causes
indication of the selected IIS? There is not, Matt. I'm not sure. Of the vertical speed there is here, but there is no IIS indicator on the PFD. I don't know if that is by design or if it's just missing, or if it's just going straight off of like a needle position on the indicated airspeed. So that I do not know.
November 7 Bravo, Mike. Contact Miami Center 135.17. He'll have fire for you.
3517 TBM 7 Bravo, Mike. Oh. Thank the Lord. Center, good afternoon. TBM 7 Bravo, Mike, level 14,000.
Number 7 Bravo, Mike. Miami Center, good afternoon.
All right, we'll level 14,000. Let's go ahead and we don't need to start. We can come back to about 100 torque here. The ITT is getting a little bit hot.
Legion 1975, Miami Center, hello again. Cleared at 2 Myrtle Beach. Radar vectors Rogas in his file.
Flight level change, but not the value. Flight level change is the IAS holding. Yes, that's what it is, but it doesn't. I don't think it shows you the value. That's what he was asking.
3610.
That's what, because I've seen airplane. I think even I think the Citation had that on one of the CJs. They would go. You would go if you went IAS mode. It would show you in knots which speed it was pitching for. In flight level change, quote unquote flight level change. But as far as the TBM, I have not noticed that. All right, 14,000. We're still looking good here. We'll wait till we get a final climb out. Let's take a peek at our cabin here. You can outclimb the cabin. I did that earlier this morning. I was trying to climb as high as I could, as fast as I could, and we got close to outclimbing the cabin. I'll keep that rate knob up. We're still climbing slowly. Hello, Captain. Sure you're doing well. Greetings from a Cessna flight deck. Well, DPEC, glad to have you on board. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Look at that, busting out from that South Florida weather, going up now towards Central Florida and up towards the northern part of Florida. It should start to break up, just like the real radar shows in real life. Love the weather simulation in Microsoft. Absolutely love it. Sadly, I got to bail out here. Have a great Friday. Dougal, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. What's the cruise speed? Are we econo cruising? We're going to do we'll see what it is when we get up. I have my app. So what's really cool about this is if you have an iPhone, or I guess an Android too, but if you have an Android, it is what it is. But there's a couple apps like TBM Performance and TBM Torque. And you can use these real-world apps to set your power settings. If you're in the Discord, I posted a photo today of my test flight on this latest version. I basically used the TBM Performance app to give me a cruise power setting, and then I cross-checked it with what I was getting in the sim, and the true airspeed was like 1 knot off. The gallons per hour was like 3 gallons per hour, plus or minus. Torque was right on. Speed, everything was pretty darn close, which is impressive. I mean, I think the real airplane was 68 gallons per hour. I was burning 65.9. And true airspeed was almost identical to what I should have been getting according to the app. So we'll get a cruise power setting once we get up to flight level 25. Well, actually, here's Frisbee. Yeah, we have plenty of time to get up there. We just need to get higher here. We're cruising along here at 14. I'm going to bring the prop back just a little bit here, about to 19. We'll power up once we get a climb. Yeah, as we break out, we'll go inert SEP off too.
170, runway 4, taxi via Delta.
Lights out.
Altimeter 2994.
Gustavo says C90B had flight level change mode that looked like Ray Charles going up and down on the speed. So we usually kept the pitch control manual throughout the climb. Gustavo, I've flown a couple airplanes with some funky autopilot behaviors as well. Yep, they're not all perfect. November 357 Bravo Mike, go ahead.
Number 357 Bravo Mike, I have two options for you. You let me know which one I do.
Oh boy.
I can give you another heading, make some spacing between you and the aircraft in front of you, climb you, speed you up, and then I'll put you on your way. Or we can leave it as is, give it a couple minutes, and then I can climb you so you don't crash into the guy.
That's fine. We're doing fine right here. We'll just wait till you have some space. 7 Bravo Mike.
Actually, I'm actually stupid, and I just realized you're already above them, so you can come in level 250. Sorry, I even.
Not a problem. All right, we're leaving 14 for flight level 250, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, 25 is set.
I was like, wait, 14 is bigger than 11, right?
That depends on what school you go to, I guess. All right, vertical speed. Here we go. Let's pull for vertical speed. Oh, whoops. Engage vertical speed. Here we go. That's what I want to do. Roll it in nice and slow. And I'm gonna go right to like 2,000. I'm gonna bring my prop up. Gonna get my torque back up, and I'm gonna let that speed bleed off, and then we'll go back into flight level change mode. So right now we're vertical speeding up. I'm gonna wait for that speed to bleed off. Watch that ITT though. We're looking good, about 810. I know we're not gonna do about 2,500 feet a minute here. So if I put in 2,500 feet a minute, we should watch this IAS needle is gonna roll back, and best climb out speed from watching the Steve-O videos anywhere between 145 to like 150. I see them climbing out at. So we're aiming for that, but we're taking the energy that we have right now since we were level. We got our go-go juices here. We're gonna take that energy and get us boosted up, and then we'll stabilize our climb rate once we get to our target speed. The flight level change was Ray Charles, and the weather was Stevie Wonder. Oh yes, all fun and games during South America monsoon on icing levels. That sounds pretty spicy, Gustavo. Stevie Wonder for the weather radar. I love it. I love it. All right, as we approach 150 knots, I'm going to reselect IAS mode. You'll see the indication change here on the PFD. And then our vertical speed will end up leveling out. So right about
Squad 1533 for country 17 heavy.
There, IAS mode, you see flight level change, and immediately the PFD is commanding a lower pitch. Watch that torque, it's creeping up, gotta bring that torque back. Now when you do those zoom climbs like this, just double check your cabin is not going to run away from you, which we're doing all right. With that level off there at 1.4 helped us out, helped that cabin kind of catch up. All right, there's 18 transition, 290902 is set on the Magic Barrel ref key. We no longer need that active. We got 250 in the window. Everything is looking good. I'm gonna prop creeped up right on that red line. Have you thought about having Steve-O on the cast as a guest? I haven't yet. It would be really cool if I could. I'll have to send him an email. We'd have to do like a long haul. We'll have to do a TBM max endurance test and have Steve-O come on.
17 radar contact, 30 miles northwest.
All right, 110. We're looking good right now. We are looking real good. Take a quick peek outside. Love it, man. Makes me want a TBM. Will the TBM be out this week? Nils, I have not at the liberty to discuss the release date, but I will say it is soon. It is soon. I'm liking this airplane so much. I'm legitimately looking at like a hardcore TBM setup, peripheral-wise. It's very pricey. 5,000 feet to go. I guess we're over. Are we over the Big O? Is this Okeechobee? I think we're over the Big O. Look at that. There's Frisbee intersection 347 and in the turn. How do you fly other GA after this sim though? I mean the A2A is dope, but after that it's gonna be hard.
One of your flight plans, Bulldog.
Yes. How do you fly other GA? Oh, you mean like in the sim? Yeah, there's no other sim for general aviation specifically than Microsoft. I mean the view. I say views, but the dynamic weather environment alone, out of the box, is such a huge plus for GA. It is for airliners too, but I mean an airliner, short of a tornado and some crazy weather, you're going. I mean the airplane can handle it, you're going. But GA stuff, dynamic weather is something that you actually really got to start thinking, hey, can I actually get in? Can I actually shoot this approach and see where I'm going? You know, there is very rare, unless you're, you know, in the middle of the summer thunderstorm season or, you know, some crazy snow conditions. When you're in an Airbus or a Boeing, I mean, you're probably going to go. The biggest limiting factor is going to be air traffic control, really. That's what slows it down, is the delays get so piled up that they end up canceling flights. But the airplanes can, most of the time, handle anything that's being thrown at them on a general basis. So in SimWorld, yeah, zero visibility, you do an auto land. If you got some crazy winds, you're able, as long as you've got the skills, you'll be able to put the airplane down. I mean, 38 knots, 40 knot crosswind, most all airliners are going to be able to handle that just fine. So, but you start flying props around, you really got to start paying attention to that weather. Spice was flying through the southern skirts of the Amazon forest below radar and radio coverage. Ooh, 2 old PT-6As. That sounds like a possible trouble there. F-P2 or 2 old PT-6. Man. I'm working on a set of rudder pedals based on the TBM. Might as well put my 3D printer and circuit to knowledge, get the whole TBM setup. I would think that would be wise, Steven. I think that would be wise. 850 mode is doing real good. I mean, we're still doing 1,500 feet a minute, 150 knots indicated, ground speed of 217 knots, and a single engine prop.
2047 might be set a good afternoon on the maintain level 370.
All right, leveling off here, and then we're going to settle in. We'll get our cruise performance, and then we'll kind of match it up. I'll show you on the screen here. I forgot to use the takeoff cam. All right, 250.
1535 passing 1313,000 or 1660,000.
So 1535 Miami Center, hi. I'm maintain level 350.
Let's hide the yoke. I'm going to bring this to fuel.
And Allegiant 1973 back to Wolf, I'm maintain level 330.
We get our fuel flows up. All right, as we stabilize here, I'm going to bring the torque down. I'm going to bring the prop back. 1900 for now.
And 647 Miami Center flight levels are only 18 and above. I'm going to maintain level 360.
360 for 647.
All right, as this stabilizes, now I'm going to run some numbers in my TBM performance app, so give me a second.
Okay, 2494 is 124.85, 2485.
All right, we're going Fort Lauderdale to Jacksonville. Cruise flight level is 25,000 feet. And that looks good. No alternate. Okay. Let's set up our cruising profile here. So we got 20 degrees Celsius on the outside air temperature. Let's do normal cruise.
Aircraft at Vero Beach, what was your runway?
I'll tell you what else we can do too. Let's go air conditioner off. It's auto. We're in auto on the bleeds. We've leveled off nicely in the cabin. We're right at 7,000 on the cabin, so that looks good. Temperatures inside are good. We don't need the air conditioner, 71. In fact, warm it up just a few degrees.
Oh, no,
okay.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
So,
okay, runway 4, taxi via Charlie in
doing all this.
9997.
Insufficient reserve fuel, which I'm not concerned about. Alright, if we set 115 torque.
Good afternoon, Miami Central, Liberty 720.
So let's go ahead and set 115 on the torque.
For flight level 160.
Liberty 720 Miami Center, flight level, they're only 18 and above, come to maintain flight level 400.
Climb and maintain flight level 400, Liberty 720.
Alright. So we should be at 115 torque. We'll be burning 64 gallons per hour, so we're at 62. So we're only 2 gallons per hour off on that.
Yes, number 2 Kilo Foxtrot, turn right, take 330.
Now let me do a true airspeed calculation. So if I go to my other app, we're at flight level 250, and we're in cruise, normal cruise. Outside air temp is minus 20 C. Max torque of 110 in normal cruise. Maximum is 115. So let's stick. Let's come back to normal. Let's come back to 110.
1975. Contact Jacksonville Center 135.
And now I need a task calculation. Where's my task calculator? Alright, 29902. I gotta put in all this. 29902. Altitude, we're cruising at 25,000 feet. Temperature outside minus 20 C. And the indicated or calibrated in knots is 205. If I calculate that, and then I come back to this.
Number 72 Kilo Foxtrot, turn right, heading 030, intercept the runway 1 left, localizer.
Where does it show my true airspeed at? Had it here earlier.
Number 2 Kilo Foxtrot, 10 miles from Lagoon, maintain 2,600 till established, cleared ILS, runway 1 left approach.
I'll maintain 26,000 to clear for the to establish the localizer. Yeah, cleared ILS approach to.
What am I not using the GNS 530? Oh, because I wanted to calculate it with the app.
Number 2 Kilo Foxtrot, wind 09010, gusting 1.
I'm trying to figure out where I saw it had an estimated true airspeed for me on the app, and I can't find it now for some reason.
Don't worry, we all pump a lot of words.
Right? I don't know if it's the cap.
Oh, there we go. Let's see, 310 to 311. Oh, that's at 30. Hold on.
You guys make me nervous. That's it.
We still love you.
Aww.
You're killing it.
Thank you. Number 357 Bravo Mike, contact Jacksonville Center 135.92.
3592, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. We'll see it.
Yep.
Miami Center, 1535. Something just came up. We're going to have to disconnect. Apologies.
That's pretty darn good.
AC, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, what did he say? 35.
Thank you, but yeah.
92 for Jax. All right, so let's go 359 or 2.
Who wants to descend?
Jacksonville, good afternoon. TBM 7 Bravo Mike, level 250. Got to run, got to catch Lester. Great shoes, overview. And also 250 watching, 104 likes. Props. That's right. If you like props, smash the like button because I love doing prop streams. All right, we're looking good. We're actually burning more gas. It's like I'm looking at our fuel. Let's come back. Let's do normal cruise, like that other app said was 110, which is right about 57 on the fuel flow. I'll take that. I'm gonna bring the prop back even more just because it's a little bit too loud for me. I like 1800. I know Steve-O does 19. We're gonna do 1800 on the prop. Oh yeah, now we're settling in nicely. 200 indicated, ground speeding right now, 293. This is cool. And how's TBM so far? And subscribe. Mike Coffee. Well, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you on board. Thank you for subscribing. TBM is a wonderful machine on the sim here. It'll be coming out here pretty soon. And we've been putting it through its paces. We flew it into LAX, which was a lot of fun. We flew it into a little mountain strip in the outback in Australia, and that was fun. I was hoping we would have had a little bit more weather today out of Lauderdale, but just like Microsoft in its true form, the real weather was being quite accurate, and it actually dissipated right by the time the stream started. It was popping off pretty good right around 2 o'clock, but by about 3, the weather kind of dissipated. But all right, everything looks good. We're cruising. Everything over here, we got about 10 hours on this airplane on the Hobbs meter, 9. It's pretty good. Trying to find a good view I like. Now, it did look like there was some weather up ahead at Jacksonville. We might have to take a look. Might have to take a look at our flight planning as far as approaches go. All right. Whoa. No. You have no idea how much I'm a sucker for props. I'm checking the website daily for release. Yes, I am too, man. I like props so much. I've contemplated the idea of launching a second channel just for props, but I don't know. I have a hard time with that. It's like, why not just keep it on the same channel? I don't know. But at the same time, YouTube doesn't like it when you really alter the type of content you're doing. Although it's the same kind of content, just different airplanes. I don't know. We'll see. If you wanted weather, should have flown to the Bahamas. Romulus. I was just looking at that on the live radar right now. I know. I should have went south, dude. Should have went south. V1, I wish someone would make a realistic Piaggio 180. Man, that plane is interesting. Aircraft faster than King Air? No. 2 engines faster than 1. King Air, the 350 that's in the game, will outperform the 850, TBM 850. It'll outperform it. It's basically 2 engines on a stretched TBM. King Air 350 is an extremely powerful airplane, more so than the TBM. As good as A2A? Well, here's where it's lacking. So the problem, what A2A has done phenomenally is capture the entire GA experience. And by capturing the GA experience, I mean when you do your walkarounds and when you do your fuel checks, your flight control, like that whole external situation that A2A has modeled, checking the cylinders, that is missing. We don't have that type of depth here on the TBM, unfortunately. But getting rid of that, you have pretty much everything else. I mean, you have a really well-modeled airplane. I mean, you can use real-world performance numbers to get you set up, and you're going to be a couple, they say plus minus 2%. So, if something is within the ballpark for me in general, I'm good with it. Because real-world flying, I mean, it's mostly ballpark. I mean, the book, you can read all you want in the book, but until you get up in the air and you're in that exact position in space, you're only going to get what you're going to get when you're there. Now, the books can be very accurate, and this can be very accurate. So you've got everything there. It's just it misses that, I would say, that external application where you do walkarounds and all that good stuff. HX has been superb on the A2A. Yeah, I mean, it's got it. That's when I say the A2A captures the GA experience, because that is, every time you go fly a Cessna 172, you go do all those things. Now, flying a TBM 850, if you're flying maybe a 135 operator, you're probably not going to be doing all those things. The plane will probably be sitting out there on the corporate ramp. The FBO is going to get it ready for you, and you go out there, or you go out to your airplane and you're ready to go. So it's not quite the same. It can be, but you know, I really liked. I think who did that in X-Plane? It was the Airfoil Labs King Air folks. They did a really good job with that as well. Static tie downs, doing the walk around, pumping your own gas. I mean, that is such a silly thing to think about, but I really enjoyed pumping our own gas on that King Air in X-Plane. I did enjoy that quite a bit.
American 1276, contact Orlando approach 128.37.
You familiar with HMP? I am not. Your rudder is mistrimmed. The ball is deflected. Let's see. I was on my rudder pedal. Let's see what happens. No, it seems pretty good to me. Maybe 1 or 2 clicks over. I had my foot resting on my rudder pedal. There you go. You happy now? Crisis averted. We won't crash. I'm pretty sure TBM 850 flies 320 TAS max on papers, and the King Air is 312 knots max. I guess real performance. Really?
Yeah, I did 257. It's going to be the Looney 1 arrival runway 8 transition, the Jacksonville altimeter 3005.
Does the King Air 350 is limited to 312 knots? If it is, that's a surprise to me. I'd have to look it up. Nah, we'll skip that one. You know what we need? We need some Florida vibes. Is there like Florida? I guess that would be tropical. Hold on. We need to find, I'm going to look for Florida. The topic of Florida. What type of songs are in Florida? Get the full Steve-O vibe going on here. Simwing's doing PC-12, yes. Flight sim hits so weird sometimes. The odd things that make it awesome, yes. Local airport where I keep my plane neighbor is a TBM 850. Amazing performance flying out of a 3,000-foot runway. That's, yeah. You know, that is, the TBM, I think that was kind of, even if you watch their main commercials, it's like, you can load it up. It's a useful, it's got the useful load. So full fuel, 4 passengers, throw on some bags, and you can still go 320 knots a long way. You know, you start looking at other airplanes, that's where like some jets even get bogged down, is because you could take this many people, but if you want to load all this fuel, now you got to take some of this weight out of here. So it's, and then let alone the runway performance, right? So that's kind of the claim to fame on the TBM. It's very useful in what it can do. Full fuel, full passengers, still go far, still go out of 2,500, 3,000 foot strips. It really is a performance airplane. Glass breaking bar brawls and Florida Man on Rampage doesn't sound like a great soundtrack to me. Leonard Skinner as a Florida man is as Florida as much as I can get, so play Free Bird. Florida songs would have to include meth. I don't think Free Bird is included. I'm looking, Gustav, I'm looking. Is the engine or allows a wing design? It's combination. So you got to have the power on the engine, right? You got to have an engine that has the power for that. That's where, when you get to a true turboprop, a turboprop PT6 specifically is such a good performing engine. If you have one on your airplane, whatever airplane you're buying with a PT6, you're probably going to be, your limiting factor is going to be the airframe. That's when the airframe design is going to limit your speed. You know, at the end of the day, we are still a straight wing single engine here. So the straight wing is going to hinder some of the high speed performance, but what is it going to allow you to do? It's going to allow you to take a very heavy useful load with full fuel out of a short strip, because it flies faster, or it generates lift faster. I guess I should say that. Might not be, someone's going to get mad at me and yell at me on that one. But a straight Hershey bar wing like this, it's super efficient. It can get you in and out of short strips, but it's limited in its super high speed envelope, right? That's why you look at all the fastest of the fast jets are all swept wing, right? You start looking at straight wing citations, they're pretty slow. Straight wing, I think, is there any swept wing turboprops? I'm trying to think now. Are there any swept wing turboprops out there? I guess the Piaggio would be kind of close to that. got to be some swept wing turboprops, but it's a combination. I mean, because you could have a very sleek designed airplane for high speed, but now you give it up the performance to operate on short runways and take a lot of weight in and out of there. You go with a straight wing, high efficient airfoil design. Now you're going in and out of these short strips with low indicated speeds, low V speeds, if you will, and being able to still get up high and go fast. The Beach Starship, there you go. Yeah, Starship. Yeah, the Starship. Yes. That had the canards on it, right? Would you ever fly the MU2? I think it's interesting. If we ever get one, is there an MU2 in the sim? Is there a good MU2 available? I don't know if there is or not. I thought I saw something somewhere where someone posted the MU2 first look or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, the whole EZ family. Yeah. I'm saving up for that December holiday, and you're welcome for the PC motor from Canada. Mike Coffee, I appreciate you, man. Straight wing, high lift at low speeds, but also higher drag and lower critical Mach. Short hops, great for short hops, and into small strips. Yep. Indeed. Toga sim on X-Plane. Oh, Gustavo, I remember. I do remember looking at videos. I think Q8 Pilot did a video on that, right? If it was an X-Plane, I would have been all over it. I remember now because the cockpit. I wanted to buy it just for the cockpit alone. I love that MU2 cockpit. It's very similar, I guess, when you look at this cockpit here. This is my optimum cockpit display. I don't want a G1000. Every time I see a G1000 in the sim, it just makes me upset because it's a cop-out in my opinion. But I don't like G1000s. I don't love all glass. I mean, if you just look at the TBM that we had in X-Plane 12, the hot start, I guess that was a G1000 too. What's another, so the A220, there's a jet that I have interest in flying, but man, the cockpit does not make me excited at all. It's just, glass to me is boring. So having a good mix of round gauge and some glass, digital HSI here, this is pretty good. This is very good for those simmers that want to get in and out of high density airspace, still fly those quote-unquote airliner routes, but do it in a fast prop. This is very helpful. Now, you could do it with something like this, the old school HSI, but now you're just increasing the workload exponentially. So I think this, to me, is the best, in my personal opinion. This is my favorite type of cockpit, where I've got pretty much everything around gauge. I can live with or without the 530. I can toggle that in and out, the hot swap. I think they call it the hot swap radio stack. And then just having a little bit of glass here, because what this really does, this is basically a capabilities upgrade. So having these two glass here, the PFD and the, what is it, AHARS, or what's up here? What is it called?
Queen City,
yeah, the HSI.
Center,
just, I mean, it just adds the capabilities this airplane can do. Steam gauge or bust. Yep, I like steam gauge, man. The handling of the Cribble sounds too outside the MU2 Garrett's. Ooh, yeah, tinnitus all over. That's what, so the Garrett's are what gave me tinnitus to begin with in real life, no joke. A mix between the Garrett's, but I probably go 75-25 Garrett's to PT6s giving me tinnitus in real life. But yeah, maybe even 80-20. Because even just standing on the ramp and having a Metro pull in next to you, deafening. Absolutely deafening. And being a young aviator, I mean, I didn't care about my hearing. My dad always said, you should probably wear ear protection. You're going to have bad hearing like me. Should have listened. But you fly the Airbus, which was the pioneer of glass. How can you say you don't like glass? Just because I fly it doesn't mean I don't like it, Jeremy. And when I say I don't like it, I'm talking strictly sim world. In the sim, in any simulation, I don't like glass. It's just, I don't want to say it's too easy. It doesn't excite me. It's just everything's the same, and it just feels lame. Getting into a cockpit like this feels like you're actually getting into an airplane to fly. I mean, just watching Steve-O's videos when he got in that 960 TBM, it looked like he was a little bit honestly, it looked like he was a teeny tiny bit disappointed at how lame engine start was. All FADEC controlled. All he had to do was flip the starter on, move the no prop left. Like, he looked like a teeny tiny bit disappointed, like he missed his 850. I'm gonna be honest. Perfect balance of glass and gauge, 7.3. Kevin 4.7. Hey, I'm an Airbus driver at heart, but I will say, yeah, I like the 737 cockpit with their in the sim, you know, because you get that gritty round gauge feel, of course. But also even the 7.3, the non-max, but the regular classic 7.3 NGs, the Airbus A320, yeah, it's glass, but it's also like old glass, you know? It's not an A220 glass or an A350 glass. Even the A350, that cockpit just does not get me excited, man. We've all been there, used to play in a band for 10 years in front of a PA. Took care of hearing slightly too late, yep. I'm actually looking at getting some noise-canceling headphones for work, too. A320, perfect balance between glass and analog. Yeah, anything newer is too much. I agree, TV Flight Deck. 320 Flight Deck, you can say the same about the 737 Flight Deck. Yeah, you got a PFD and an ND. That's really all the glass you have. You have a PFD and an ND, and then you've got your engine instruments, which for everyday flying, yeah, I'll take an upper and lower ECAM over round gauge instruments. Just, it's easier to use. But, yeah, anything newer is just getting too glassy. Old glass has charm, it does. And I think part of it has to do, too, with my generation of pilot, and maybe not even my generation. Any pilot who is started their career and, you know, sat and flew in those cockpits with round gauges.
357 Bravo Mike, Jacksonville Center.
Go ahead, 357 Bravo Mike.
357 Bravo Mike, cross Bass at 13,000, the Jacksonville altimeter 3005.
Cross Bass 13,000. Any chance direct Bass for TBM 7 Bravo Mike?
That's approved.
All right, direct Bass will cross at 13,000, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. It'll just make my math easier. Direct 2, Bass, activate.
295, Tango Delta, cross Bass at 13,000.
45 miles to go. Do a quick little mental math here.
3005, 295.
We got to do the vertical speed it down, right? Is that what Stevo does? So we're 25. We're going to 13. That's 12 times 3 is 36. So 36 miles. Let's call it 40 miles from Bass. We'll start down. We'll do about math me Gustavo. We'll do 1,800 feet a minute to get us started. How's that? We'll do about 1,800 feet per minute, starting at 40 miles from Bass. That should be good enough. Burbank to SNA on the MU2, just saying, Gustavo, hey, if it wasn't X-Plane, my man, I would do it. We don't have any more weather out there. I guess we'll go ahead and turn off the radar for now. Looks like clearing 1,000,000. Here comes 40 miles, vertical speed it down. Oops, nope, we're going to press. Vertical speed. I wanted to do 500 first, oh well. Roll it in, vertical speed her down. Now as I'm going to get rid of the music. As we descend,
3 o'clock is less than 5 miles.
We're going to have to watch our instruments here and our speed. All right, we're going down to 13,000. Vertical speeding down. We're looking good. We need to get a METAR for Orlando here pretty soon. Are you getting scared of enjoying X-Plane all over again? Well, a little bit. I would love an A2A level modern GA aircraft. I mean, there's some modern GA airplanes out there that are pretty good. 414 comes to mind. But I mean, what do you mean by modern? You mean like G1000 modern? Flying an ILS with my steam gauge help my finest help me finest my controls on landings compared to a G5. Personal opinion. Yep. I think the 6 square 768 displays of A320 is plenty. I'm sure that's why Airbus didn't change displays for the Neo like Boeing did for the Max. Yeah, there's really no more. I mean, you don't really need. I don't know what else you would throw on the glass in the Airbus cockpit, if I'm being honest with you. I'll bring that torque back. Let's bring it down about 100 on the torque. So now you can see we're speeding up here pretty good because of the power setting and the vertical speed. We're prioritizing our pitch instead of our airspeed now, instead of flight level change mode. So you just got to be mindful of that. But I always did vertical speed when I flew, at least on the descent, for turboprops and even pistons. Especially pistons, because I always want to try to get to as fast as I could possibly go, because in cruise, a lot of the Chieftains and stuff that I flew flying freight, even at cruise power, you weren't going as fast as like you knew the airplane could go. So once you went into descent, vertical speed or down, leave your cruise power in there, and that speed really starts to build. Same deal here. Oh, you mean something other than G1000? That's interesting, yeah. So right now we're doing 316, so we're looking good on the descent profile here. We could also do it by time if we keep our speed constant. About 5 minutes out, 2,000 feet a minute would be 10,000 feet. We're doing 1,800 feet. We only got 7,000 feet to go, so we're going to be early. Matter of fact, I might even bring out some more power here. How's our fuel? How much fuel we got? We took 50%. Yeah, so we're okay. I need to see if Jax has... It does. An ATIS here. Information Charlie. 04... Well, that's interesting. 046 at 17, gust 21. That's oddly specific. 046 at 17... Gusting 21, 6 miles in haze, simultaneous approach and use, visual approach 8 and 1-4. I guess we're going to use 8. I guess we'll use runway 8. Hopefully we can do a visual approach. Let me see what Navigraph has got in Jacksonville. 8 and 1-4. 04. So basically 050. So we should land 1-4. Or I guess 08. 8, right? Yeah. Actually, where do we want to go? Let me look at the let's see, the FBO is okay. No, we want to land on 8 because of the FBO ramp. We don't want to land on 1-4. If we land 8, 050, 30-degree crosswind, that's fine. All right, we're out of 18, standard transition. Altimeters down in Jacksonville, if I pull the weather right now, is oh, that's my alternate. Weather says 040 at 17 on this one, 7 miles haze. 3005.
Turn right heading 220 vectors for traffic and for direction of flight. I need you at an even altitude. So just maintain 40 for now, and I'll put back down to
3005 on the fields. 3005 is set. We're 14 from Bass. Let's go vertical speed, 2,000 feet a minute. Watch that indicated airspeed. He said 8 to you. I'm gonna request. Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to do 8. What kind of approaches do we got, though? Jacksonville approaches for ILSs, or let's do an RNAV. Do an RNAV or an ILS? I guess we can do an ILS. ILS to 8, 110.7.
Southwest 3091 Jacksonville Center, Squawk 5571.
110.7 is set, both sides. Final approach course is 077 degrees. So let's go ahead and spin this around. 07577 on the VOR2. 077 on this one over here. 077 looks good. I got my recommendation for S3 OTS today. Hope to get my S3 this week. Micah Messer, that's awesome news, man. Congratulations. In the Mad Dog, I love the combination of glass and steam, and the more mechanical feel.
Jacksonville approach 127.0.
127.0, United 237.
530 has a VNAV descent calculator to give you vertical speed to reach X waypoint at X altitude. True. Or you could just use mental math, try to keep your skills sharp. AnyBuild's MU2 is supposedly going to be released. Wait, AnyBuild's MU2? Wait, hold on. I gotta get this right. Gustavo's talking about the MU2 that's on X-Plane. Is AnyBuild's making an MU2 for Microsoft? No. All right, well, level 1, 3,000, 4 miles from Bass. We're looking good. 210 indicated. Yeah, see all that nice speed we brought in? We never did reset our landing elevation, so let's go ahead and start this down. Let's reduce that rate. Don't pop those ears. Let's go ahead and dial in field elevation, which is basically sea level. So we'll go ahead and roll it all the way back. Should have done that on top of descent. That's my bad. Cabin is coming down. There's an MU2 due for Microsoft, but there's a licensing problem preventing release? Really? That's interesting. I've been watching my sub count, and I'm currently 3 subs from 8,500. It's been up and down with plus minus 5 last week. So frustrating. Just get there already. Hey. Oh, it'll happen, Micah. It'll happen. All right, Basque or Poggy inbound. 13,000. I'm gonna go ahead and get that torque back in there. Up to about 90% on the torque.
Tomjet 726 Quadrant, cigar, and you're pretty stepwise. Let me know when you're back. Direct cigar.
Love it. MU2, wow. Announced at $9.99. Oh, it's gonna be like one of those. Team Vodka, you behind us? SoCal Flying Monkey Cherokee 6 has a... Oh, I'm not sure who you're talking to. Nothing like watching the exhaust turbo glowing red hot at night on the Chieftain? Yes, Captain O'Likely. Yes, indeed. I remember those days well. Red hot turbo out there on that Chieftain. ATR 2 V1 Rage Boogaloo.
Southwest 91, ready to contact 20 east.
You couldn't fix the generator heat fault.
Descend via the Osprey 7 arrival. You can expect the Alice approach runway 15 at Charleston.
Generator heat? I wonder what you screwed up. Let me get flight recorder up and ready. We know what? We never went over the changelog. All this time in cruise here, I never went over the latest and greatest changelog. I can do that quickly here as we turn to Poggi. Let me pull it up. So it mostly has to do with ITT operation on the ground and for start, changing the mathematical situations. Let me see here. Let me pull up my email from Black Square. So here we go. Improved hot start dynamics with added non-linear.
My contact Jacksonville approach 127.0. See ya.
27 nothing. 7 Bravo Mike.
295 Tango Delta contact approach 127.0.
127.0. All right, now Zippy, be a pro pilot and wait for me to check on first. Jax, good afternoon. TBM 357 Bravo Mike with level 13,000.
TBM 357 Bravo Mike, Jax approach, hello, stand by, United 257, turn left heading 170, and then the airport should be...
ITT, Micah, is the internal temperature, internal temperature turbine, right? Yeah.
TBM 7 Bravo Mike, descend and maintain 3,000, Jax altimeter 3005, expect visual approach from 8.
Set and maintain 3000. We'll expect the visual 8. TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, I'm going to go IAS mode now just because it's easier, because I'm going to be doing some reading. Props are coming back. 13,000 or 3000 is set. We're IAS, flight level change mode. Vertical speed is coming down. All right, so to finish off this real quick here, this is what they've worked. Improved hot start dynamics, basically made it non-linear. It's an improvement over the previous ITT calculations, which result in a more aggressive hot start. More aggressive when fuel is introduced too early, and reduce the peak ITT during normal starts. In both cases, temperatures much more closely resemble real-world values now. This is what's cool, and I was testing this earlier today. So if you were in the Discord, you saw me testing this earlier. Residual heat added to ITT. This is neat. So ITT, your internal temperature, may remain hot enough after shutdown to require dry motoring to reduce temperature before starting in high ambient temperatures and low wind conditions. See the residual heat and dry motoring section of the manual for more details. ITT also increased at high density altitude. I tried this in Sedona, Arizona. I bumped up the temperature to like 105 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and doing a takeoff, I was almost very closely ITT limited. So it is definitely there. It's really neat. And what's cool about that dry motoring, that's kind of like, not kind of, it is what we do on the Neo. So when the Pratt & Whitneys, when you start up the Neo aircraft on the Airbus, because they have such tight tolerances with the geared turbofan, that they have to cool equally, right? So that's what they introduced, this dual cooling situation. Basically, same things are happening here, but it's not really for tolerances. It's mostly for internal temp for start. So if you fly somewhere really hot and you shut down the engines, you do a quick turn, maybe you get some passengers off and you get ready to fire right back up, your ITT might still be sitting at that 200, 300, 250 mark, and it would behoove you to do a cranking procedure first to lower the ITT, because as the engine rotates, that propeller, we're going to get airflow over the engine, which is going to help cool that internal temperature. Then you can go ahead and do a normal start, but you have to remember your starter limitations as well, which are all in the manual. So I was messing with this pretty significantly during this morning when I was kind of sitting around here getting ready for the stream. So it does work, and it is pretty neat. And if I remember, I'll probably forget, but if I remember after landing, I might be able to show y'all when we get on the ground. Improved gas generator dynamics. This is a significant improvement over the previous NG calculations, NG, which is right here, which result in more stable and higher NG settings at normal cruise throttle settings. NG now much more closely resembles real world values. And again, I was messing with this morning with the real world TBM performance app.
Mike turn left heading 34. Let's go 330 vector shitty French.
Left turn 330, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, heading mode, I got to finish reading this, and then we're going to get vector for the approach. So 330 on the heading. I'm going to put this into ILS mode here. VOR 1077 is set, 110.7. Did I do that right? 110, yeah, 110.7077. We're just out of range right now. So, all right, we're on the heading. We're at 10,000 feet. Lights are coming on. All done. Good deal. Improved oil temperature simulation. So again, oil temperature now. We're looking down here, the engine oil, and we're looking at temperatures on the left, PSI is on the right. A small update here, oil cooling connected to new ITT calculation. So if it's really cold, your oil's not, and you say let's reverse that. Let's say it's really hot and you land somewhere really hot, your oil is not going to cool off. And require you to do like an engine warm-up. Like, why would you do an engine warm-up if it's 110 degrees outside, right? So they're kind of connected. Now, the reverse is true. If it's super cold outside, you're going to need to make sure you warm up that engine before you take off, or you risk damaging the engine. Starting to get into some layer here. I don't think there's any radar, but I'm going to turn it back on. Investigating more authentic beta range. I'm not sure what they're going after on this one. They said there's a note here from Black Square. There's implementation for release or the first update for a more authentic beta. I hope they don't mess with this too much, because I personally really like the beta simulation that they have right now. I find it very easy and intuitive to use. With that being said, is it perfect? No. So I'm interested in to see how they would come around with an update here with this, but I just hope they don't mess it up. All right. Anyway, let's continue. There's a few other, couple other bug fixes. Propeller RPM increased at idle. We talked about that. So the prop RPM used to hover at like 700 in the caution range there at high idle on the ground. That's been changed. Also, increased fuel flow and NG difference between low and high idle. This was part of the custom fuel controller, but was suppressed by a configuration file entry. So they had it working, and then there was another version where that stopped working, but it does work now. And now here's something I need to dig around in the real world manual, because PT6 as I flew, we most left them in low idle unless we really needed it. Now TBM is a high idle situation. PC12, same deal. Now I spoke to Phantom, who knows some PC12 drivers, and it says you're not supposed to use low idle in flight, but they do it because they can get, it's not prohibited, but they can do it because they can come down a little bit faster. So I don't know if low idle is prohibited or just not recommended in flight. Either way, it will adjust the fuel flow accordingly, and it does function properly, and I can show you this again on the ground if I remember. So on the ground, I want to show you the ITT and maybe do a dry motor, and then I want to show you the difference between high and low idle fuel flow values on the ground. And then I already showed you that the prop stayed in the proper, stayed just out of the caution range, stayed at about 1,000 RPM, which is good or normal on the ground. So those are the latest fixes and changes for the next version here for the internal testers. I don't know if they're going to have any other changes before the release version comes out, but it is good to know that they are still actively improving this airplane. Like I said, it's very hard to get a perfect airplane, no matter how hard you try, but they are still actively tweaking and trying to make this airplane as realistic as possible, which I appreciate. And hopefully, maybe if you know me long, I've been around the channel long enough, you know that you can tell on my voice when I am genuinely being excited about an airplane. You can feel it, and that's how I feel about this airplane. I've come
right heading 350 now, and descend to maintain 2,000.
Right turn 350, descend at 2,000 TBM 7 run mic. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and keep on coming on, bring that power out.
TBM 5 Tango Delta, right heading 350.
I've come to the office 2 separate occasions now and just flown either on Discord stream or by myself because I like this airplane so much. Oh, they also increased the flight idle drag. Look at this. So look at this. Flight idle drag, we're not even prop full forward. They've increased it. It's always going to be a little bit lacking, I think, according to the Microsoft limitations.
The airport's going to be approximately 10 miles after 2 o'clock, reporting site.
We got a nice little haze layer in front of us right now, but we'll be looking TBM 7 Bravo Mike.
All right, Roger.
I'm going to select an approach. I'm going to select ILS 8, Zulu, enter, vectors. We'll just go ahead and activate vectors to final so I can have something there to see. There's our sync rate. See, flight idle drag has definitely been increased. I think it has a much more realistic value right now.
And Lima Oscar Alpha, turn right heading 350.
I always get messed up by the PT6 because they're installed backwards. Yeah, they are. There's a way to put it. All right, I'm gonna keep coming back on the speed now. I'm gonna bump that prop up 1900. I don't want to come in here at 200 knots. Let's see if we can stabilize around 160.
Mike, I can give you as low as 1600 if you need to get below that layer.
Looks like it's pretty much just haze right now. We're set up for the approach. Any chance you can get us a vector for the ILS 8?
7 Bravo Mike, sure thing. I need to take you out a little bit further just to get you on. So for now, turn left heading 320. I'll have you turning inbound shortly at DIN.
Not a problem. Left turn 320. We'll expect vectors for the ILS 8 TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, 320 on the heading.
Center maintain 1,600.
Center maintain 1,600 TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, 1,600 is set. We're going to vertical speed it down.
5 Tango Delta, do you want to go ahead and try the ILS as well?
Less than 1,000 a level off.
Best. We have that same haze layer.
P1's more excited about this plane than the jet season. Hey, that is an accurate statement.
You can expect Victor's ILS runway 8
Matter of fact,
safe speed.
I might do another stream, members only in the Discord after this.
Around about 200.
Is there any events on tonight where we can go crash the VATSIM event with the turboprop?
Maintain 200 knots.
Once launched, I'll be recreating Stevo flights. I think a lot of people will, Sky, which is it's exciting. I mean, he's had such a presence on YouTube for so long. You know, I was watching his oldest videos. I didn't know he flew for, he flew the Metro for, now I'm drawing a blank, on the, down there in South Florida. Why am I drawing a blank on the airline? Anyway, he used to fly for an old regional turboprop operator. I knew guys that flew for that same outfit. But it's kind of cool to see his oldest videos.
Turn right heading 050, maintain 1,600 until established clear ILS runway 8 approach.
Right turn 050, 1,600 until established, cleared ILS runway 8 approach, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, we're set up for the approach. 050 on the heading. We are cleared approach. Let's pay attention here.
Lima Oscar Alpha, excuse me.
We don't need inert SEP. Everything is good there. Our cabin has come down. That all looks good. Props are coming up, full forward. We're high idle. Our lights are on. Let's keep pulse mode on for the birds.
And are you able to take the ILS?
Fuel is good. 050.
Can you take the ILS?
Cheat over just a little bit more.
Yes, sir, I can take the ILS.
Actually, let's help him out on that heading. I'm going to
Lima Oscar Alpha,
do about 045 here because Dins is just to the left. 1600. Let's go ahead and start slowing down.
And 7 Bravo Mike, it looks like I might take you past the final approach fix by accident there, so let's go ahead and turn left heading 030 and then get you back on course here.
Not a problem. That'll work out just fine. 030 on the heading, intercept by ILS 8, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. Yeah, I could see that too. I was like, just cut us off a little bit inside. Gosh, if I could just get a look at the airport, I could call visual. Just a little bit of haze there.
I need your best rated descent if possible here. I need to get you on the localizer, and you're still about...
Flaps approach. It's going to help lower that nose so I can see out a little bit better here.
Roger, diving and driving.
Thank you.
There we go. I mean, I can pretty much see it. It's right there, I think. Or maybe it's over there.
And 7 Bravo Mike, it looks like you can bring it back to 050 now. Thank you. Should work there.
050 to join. So TBM 7 Bravo Mike, thanks. All right, approach mode. Come on, baby. Yep, we captured it. All right, approach mode. We've captured the ILS. There's the outer marker. Might have a little bit of an overshoot here.
Turn right heading 350.
That's all right. I'm going to spin the heading bug around for reference.
And Lima Oscar Alpha, descend and maintain 2,000.
And will it follow the glide slope? It will. Glide slope captured. So we've got a glide slope capture. Gear down.
And Lima Oscar Alpha, you can turn right heading 350 again. Thank you.
Recording is on.
7 Bravo Mike, 04017, gust 21, runway 8, clear to land.
Runway 8, clear to land. TBM 7 Bravo Mike. All right, I can see the approach lights. We're slowing down 120-ish on the speed here for approach. Inside airspace, I imagine. Yep. I'll do this.
Tango Delta, you're about 4 miles from Dins. Turn right heading 050, maintain 1,600 until established clear ILS runway 8 approach.
Turning right 060 and we'll establish with the ILS 08.
That'll be 050 the intercept.
The landing will be a Zach Wilson pass. It's going to be a dime. Dude, Zach Wilson knew Taylor Swift was in the building last night. He's throwing freaking dimes.
Oscar Alpha, you can,
all right, runway is in sight. But I'm going to, for testing purposes, let's see how well it flies it down to minimums here. So we're gonna stay hands off. We got a 17, 16 knot quartering headwind here. Nice little crosswind. Let's see how she handles this ILS. Now remember, we're not an Airbus. We're basically a Category 1 ILS capable aircraft, 200.5 mile for the autopilot. And it's looking good. Runway's in sight there, right out of 700 feet. That looked pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna go autopilot off. Yaw damper off, flight director's off. Keeping my speed up here, coming into jacks. As we go through 500 feet here, I'm going to bring that torque off, and then we're going to configure full flap for landing.
Banana 667, hello, Jacksonville.
Banana.
3005, and expect
the fog looks spot on. Here comes the white arc. Full flaps, gonna have a nice little change in pitch moment here. Look at this crosswind, 26 knots. Look at that, now the drag is really coming in. Probably could have done a flaps approach landing here. I want to float this one out here, chat, so we're not at 121 airline. We're gonna float it out. We're gonna do a long landing so we can get to the FBO. So we're gonna come in, unlike LA where we wanted to come in low, this one I want to float her down the runway here. I want to get a nice float. And with our FBO is off to the right down there. So 1 red, that's fine.
And November 7 Bravo Mike, if you want to keep going down the runway and then vacate right on Golf, that'd probably be your quickest taxi.
We'll do that, 7 Bravo Mike. So he had the right idea, so let's go ahead and bring it out. Since we got a nice long runway here, we're going to do the float for butters. Float for butters, float for butters, float for butters. Little aileron, and kiss it, kiss it. Come on, where you at? Oh, yes, sirree. Reverse coming out.
And Lima Oscar Alpha, you're about 5 miles from Din. Turn right heading 0.
That was almost textbook, chat. Haven't even touched the brakes yet. Just going to keep that beta mode in. And we're going to just coast off here. Coasting off. I love it when ATC gives instructions to the flare. I know. I was just going to double click the radio, but I didn't know if he...
Bravo Mike, welcome to Jax. So it looks like... all right, go ahead and make a left on Alpha and then a right on Golf to the FBO.
Left Alpha, right Golf... oh, well, let's try it again. Left Alpha, right Golf to the FBO. Thanks for the ATC. TBM 7 Bravo Mike.
No problem. We'll see you.
All right. Let's go ahead and stop the recording.
And 67 Mirage.
We'll clean her on up here. Keep going back to the camera in the back there. With that done, we'll get that off as well. We'll leave the taxi light on, navs on, and strobes off. Oh, almost went off the taxiway, looking up top there. Where's our turn off here? So he wanted us to even float it out longer, but we ran out of juice. That's all right. That is all right. We can go standby on that. Flaps are up, trims reset. Let's go ahead and we'll keep everything else the same. Oh, I wanted to show, yeah, so we'll keep everything else the same right now for cinematic purposes. Let's come around here. Excellent strategery. Thank you, Captain Olikey. All right, now where is this FBO he speaks of? I think it's right there. Can I turn in over there? Yep. I see some props. Ooh, I see another TBM over here. But I think this is the FBO. Let's go over here and see if they got any nice warm cookies. Cookies and popcorn in the FBO over here. Little beta mode here. Help me slow down. Beautiful. Man, the haze. 10 for 10 on the Microsoft haze. Right onto the Gulfer.
And Lima Oscar Alpha.
I got tongue-tied for sure.
About to touch down is a TBM 9, no factor. Winds are 040 and 17, gusting 21.
Almost X-Wing 12 tier puddles. All right, where are we going? Is there anywhere to park? I'll tell you what. Is that a PC-12? We'll park next to the PC-12. Go ahead and kill the taxi light.
Bravo Victor, turn right heading 050, intercept the runway 8.
Oh, they're all static aircraft. That's fine. Is this an FBO or a strip club? Oh, ran out of juice.
Right one able and copy the traffic.
Number 4 Bravo Victor, cross Dins at 1,600, clear for the ILS runway 8 approach.
Brakes are set. All right, let's go for our shutdown flow. We're going to go pitot heaters. Inert SEP is off. Everything looks good. We'll go autopilot trims. Radio masters off. Bleeds are off. Fans off. We are pressurized or depressurized. Aux fuel pump is coming off. Fuel tank selector manual. Auto ignition is off. And let's go ahead and kill it. Idle cutoff. through 50% feather. Love it. Kill the cautions, and we can open the door. Now, I want to show y'all something. So now we're going to get in this for science. We're going to get into this for science. So I love that rotating prop. Take a look at our ITTs right now and our engine oil temperature. Engine oil temperature in the green, 40 degrees centigrade. 255 on the ITT. Now, I need to dig around in the actual manual here to see if there is a ITT for start. ITT must be less than X for engine start. Not quite sure what it is. You could see here, though, at the engine is shut down, it's going to decrease here pretty rapidly, and then it's going to really start to slow down as it hits that 200, 210 degree mark. So maybe we're doing a quick turn, and it's only 80 degrees. I think it's 80 degrees outside here, so it's not even that hot. But if it was super hot outside and you were doing a quick turn, we would have to do something known as dry motoring. So to dry motor properly, we're going to simulate that we're idle forward cut off here on the control column. Our ignition is going to stay off, and what we're going to do here is we're going to run the starter. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the starter on. And now watch what happens to our ITT as the prop begins to rotate here. Look at the acceleration of the decrease in ITT. And you would start the chrono. I know there's an ET in here somewhere. Oh, over here. Look at the ITT is running down, running down, running down. Now we can go ahead and turn the starter off. Voltage has come back up. And then you could do a subsequent start, obviously taking into consideration your starter limitations. But now you've dry motored the airplane down, and you can go ahead and either put the cowling covers on it if you wanted to. If that was simulated, it's not. But that's kind of what that dry motoring, dry cranking procedure does. No ignition, no fuel. It just helps speed up the cooling of the engine, which is pretty cool to see that modeled. You could still see that our oil temperature is nice and warm, though, 40 degrees C. It's not going anywhere. All right, with that all done, I'm going to go ahead and put my fuel lever into high idle. Props are full forward. We're going to attempt to do a replay here. Let's close the door. Let's see how that nice landing was. We'll close and latch the door. We'll go into replay mode. We'll disconnect from the Vertical Sim. Loved having the ATC on there. And we're going to jump right into replay mode now. Beautiful. Works pretty good with Flight Recorder. So what I've kind of denoted here from testing. It looks like I just had an exceedance on my 1214 there, ITT. That's not good. I have to keep an eye on that for accumulated totals. So Flight Recorder, though, works pretty good. We're back up and running. Let's see how this landing did. We're going to scoot it forward. Josh, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board, sir. Thank you for joining the channel. Look at that crosswind. There's our full flaps coming in. And on second thought, we probably could have left flaps approach just for this wind condition. I mean, it was 25 knots, 18 to 20-ish at the very least. Quartering headwind, crosswind there. We're not landing on a short runway. Could have very easily done a comfortable flaps approach landing. That's all right, though. There goes your warranty. Nice stable approach speed, 90 to 100 knots there. Looks like we're right at 95 knots. And this is where we're using that GA pilot skill here. We're not planning to land on a touchdown zone. We're planning to land accordingly to our FBO. Bring that power out. Let's see if I did better in the flare this time. Upwards of 4 degrees on the pitch. Let's see how we did. I've been landing flat, so let her settle, let her settle. Hold it off. Oh, much better on the flare. Much better. I like that one. Could have probably gone 1 more degree. There's the reverse. going into beta, then reverse. And we made, I thought this was golf here, just by looking at it. I thought that was going to be golf. But pretty darn cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to start a second channel just for the TBM. Jeez. Was there a landing feet permitted on there? Was there any foot permitted on that one? I don't know if anyone caught it or if it registered. Butter on hard toast landing. Better than the last one on the Phoenix, that's for sure, Gustavo. We didn't have to test out the bounce physics. All right. Thank you all for tuning in on this one. I appreciate you. Hopefully, if you like this kind of content, if you like turboprops, I love turboprops. Make sure you do hit the like button for me. It helps the channel, helps the video get views. That's really all that like button does. You hit the like button, it helps promote this video in the YouTube algorithms, which then would justify me doing more turboprop streams. I know everybody loves the airliner stuff. That's kind of what I founded this channel on, but I'm a turboprop driver in my soul. So until the next time, tomorrow we are scheduled back in the fly-by-wire 320neo on the Australia-New Zealand tour. It should be pretty fun. We're headed up to just south of Cairns there on the eastern coast of Australia. Going to test out the latest version of the fly-by-wire, see what they got cooking. So until tomorrow, you stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time, I'm B1. See you.